Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. I hope you're having a wonderful, beautiful, sunshine-filled day. I know a lot of places are starting to have more of that, so that's a good thing. So we're just going to play with some envelopes today. This is inspired by Patricia Viramontes. I am not doing it the exact way that she did it, it's just watching her do it inspired me. She hooked her larger envelope, which this one is, and mine might be a little different than hers. It just depends on the size of the envelopes that you have. Almost 9 3/4 by 4 1/4 roughly is the size of that one, and then the other one is the smaller size at 6 1/4 by 3 3/4 almost. So they're just the standard office, like the long envelope and then the one that's smaller. That's all these are. So you fold the first one in half, which that's what she did, and then she hooked on the second one with a piece of fabric as a hinge so that it would do like this, you know, it would have like this piece and this piece. I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to hook this one on and have it as a pocket right here, and then this will just open and close like that. And then this will open and close like that. So anyway, it's just a little different. It's, you know, you can do a million things with envelopes, obviously, as I'm sure you've seen. And I'm going to use my Diorio digital download. This is one that I did last summer, so this is one that's been around for a while. I just felt like playing with it. I found my little file I was cleaning and stuff, and was noticing that there were still some papers left in there. I did print out a couple more, but anyway, I just decided I wanted to play with it, and it's called Dioro, and that is Italian for golden. I used a lot of the straw paper from Rachel at Roxy Creations, and so that's what gave me the golden idea, and just the inking and stuff made me think that golden would be a good name for it, so that's what I named it. So let's get started. What I want to do is get these kind of glued together the way they're going to be. I'm not going to glue them down because I want to collage first, but it's your choice. You can collage after if you want to. I just think it's a little easier when everything's not all stuck, you know. So what I want to do is cut this envelope here so there's a pocket right here. And then it'll open, there'll be a pocket here, and I'm going to cut the top of these envelopes just a sliver, or not these envelopes, this envelope, so that that has pockets in the top. So I hope that that makes some sense. I'm going to get my cutter, because we're just cutting a little thin sliver off, and I know you're not going to be able to totally see that, but I'll show you the piece I cut off, because my I can't ever get all of that in my camera view. Okay, so this is what I cut off, just this little piece like that, just so it opens. That's all I'm wanting. And then this one, you want to keep it with the flap on the bottom, not the flap on the top. You want the flap on the bottom because we'll turn these into pockets as well. So I'm just going to cut along this top edge to make an opening. So yeah, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. It's pretty nice here. Hope it stays that way. Get rid of all the germs and things around, floating around. That would be awesome. Alright, so we've got that one, and that one's just pretty much going to stay like that. We probably will do, well, let's go ahead and just do it. A little gluing so that this middle stays together, so you can put like a tag there or a tag there, and it's not flopping over all the time. So I'm going to use this. I need my glasses. I don't know why I always have to forget the glasses, because they're a pain. Alright, so I'm just using my art glitter glue because it's got the super pointy little top, and I'm just, right what you would think, putting a line of glue right down the fold line, so that it will just glue together there and not anywhere else. Alright, I'm not going to push super hard, and I'm even going to put this one down too so that it will also glue down, so that we just have the opening on either side. I'm going to put a little right up here at the point so that this stays closed as well, because we don't need that part opened. Alright, and I'm just going to let that dry, set it there. And then our little one, see, I have now cut my flap off. So I want this to just open here as a flap. And I also want to keep this as an opening. So what I'm going to do is, probably should have glued this before, but this side of the flap I'm not going to use as a pocket because it will already be a closed pocket. So let me see here. Yeah, that'll work. I can glue all over this so that our flap will stay on our envelope. I just have to line it back up because it's a little out of little cattywampus there. So I'm just closing that part all the way because this is going to be my pocket instead of this. I could have used both, but this is actually going to be stuck down, so I couldn't have used both because I'm going to have it like that. That's right, so that's why that won't work. And you could also cut the top off here if you wanted like multiple pockets, but I think that one is enough. I don't want to load this so fat that you can't you know, put it in a journal or anything. And then now I have this, and I'm just going to glue up to this point right here, and I'm not going to glue at all on this side because this is my opening for my big pocket right here. So I'm just going to glue where the sticky already is on this envelope. I hope this is making sense because I get these harebrained ideas and then trying to explain them to other people is sometimes interesting. And I actually might want to, you know, I'm actually going to put a little bit right up to this straight line right here. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that'll work. Just a little bit, not all the way up, just like to there. I'll just hold that down, but then I can still use this as a pocket for a little tag. It's not going to hold a big tag by any means. And then I need to just do a little bead along here as well, a very little bead. I hope you guys can see that. Let me come in. Can you just see that little tiny bead? That's all I'm doing for that part, and I just have to get this lined up a little bit here. Okay, so I just want this part open. Like that. And then I just want a little, like, a little bitty tuck right here. That's kind of all I'm going for on that. Okay? I got all wavy and wonky. I'm going to back out again. Oops, or in. Depending on if you know how to work the camera. Okay. So we have that, and this should be dry enough to fold again. So now I've got these two pockets here. And so now we want to collage it. So that's what we're going to do. And this one will go on here like this. So I need to find something kind of fun for the front here. I've got a piece of that already. You know, that would probably be, that's on that other page. I may just slit this so that it has a slit in it so that I can cover up all the stuff that I don't really want, you know, to see. I don't want to see all that garbage. So now the question is how to cut that slit. Because sometimes I'm not great with this stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure that out. Probably not. So maybe what we can do is this, because I probably will mess it up if I try to do that. I will probably mess it up anyway, but that's not going to work either. I was thinking of, sorry, I did not think this part through at all, obviously. And I just stink at stuff like this. Let's see. We're just going to kind of draw a line. I know that's kind of crazy, but that's what we're going to do. Let's see if we can do it that way. I have more, so I guess if I mess it up, I mess it up. Let's just try it, see what we come up with. I'm sure somebody out there is like, oh my god, do you have a brain? Because for a lot of people this kind of stuff is easy, but I'm not one of those people, so anything that involves any kind of math, I'm out. Okay, so that has a slit, and I will just raise the pencil very gently. And then I think what I'm going to do is punch a little hole. Where's my itty bitty? Because this is a good way to signify, you know, that there's a pocket there. And it just allows for opening there on the side. Now this could be a complete disaster. I don't know. So let's see where we line up here. So that's lined up right there with that, which is not ideal, but I think we'll make it work because I can add more stuff and all that. So let's just try to get this on here and see if we can't make it work. Yeah, these are the kind of things that my son's really good at. He's always very, anything like that that involves, see now I got glue everywhere. Measuring math, anything like that, he's good at that. He did not get that from me. Okay, so that will meet there. And then this, I need to get my towel, my glue towel. You can make this easier on yourself and just collage it like a normal person. And not try to, you know, completely make it difficult, but I always have to make it difficult, so there we go. So now that opens like that, and it's just a little tuck. I haven't stuck my fingers all the way through. So that's that. Let's get this off of here. Hopefully not destroy anything. And then we'll do some inking. Put that away before I hurt myself. Okay, so now that's what we have. And then we need a little strip of something right there. So let me see. I think I'll use this green one. Now I'm using up scraps from my Dioro kit, like I said, so like some of these pieces are incorporated in the Digi, but you don't get like a whole sheet like this, for example. You don't get a whole sheet of this, but it's incorporated in other images in the Digi. Alright, that really like blew my mind for a minute there, huh? Silence. Yeah, I wish I got that math thing. That would have been super awesome, but didn't happen for me. My husband's pretty good at all that, so obviously that's where our son got that from. But, and my dad was like that too. I did cut that down further, but it's not all the way down that far for that tuck, so we may end up adding a little something to it there. Might as well do this side while we're at it. That side you're not going to see. This side you will. And then we need to cover this side. The only thing that drives me crazy, and I may end up doing something about it, is that inside that blue. And this closed itself right here. Oh no, that's right. Sorry. Why is that all the way up here? Alright, I just had to mess with that to figure out what in the world I did. It's just going to be a small card that goes up there because we glued this down here. Okay, sometimes when I'm making these, it's all trial and error, but it'll work. It's just going to be a smaller space than I thought. Alright, so let's get something on the back of this. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, huh? That would actually look pretty good right there, those lilies. I had fun making this one. This one was, I stitched all over it and had the bumblebees, all that. It was fun. I might actually just do it the width of this and then use some actual straw paper with it. So it's a little bit tall, so we're going to take the bottom off. Put this all the way behind so I can get all the way. Oh yeah, that folds right there. It's not that top fold, it's that bottom fold. So we'll do a little more of this. I'm going to come all the way out here so that I can tear that other side too. Speaking of Italy, I was watching Rachel last night. I feel so bad for them because they're really like stuck inside kind of thing. And it's bad in Italy. I hate when I get that corner off. Weird. So yeah, it's horrible that that many people are sick with it. But she's definitely got some time for crafting now, except she can't, you know, sell a lot of things in her shop that she normally would, so that is not good. But, you know, the important part is that they're healthy and all that. I know she's not ecstatic about how it's all been handled, but none of us are, so. Just think it got blown way out of proportion unnecessarily, because we don't freak out that much over flu. And it's basically just a different version of that. But nobody asked me. That's what I always tell my kids. Well, nobody asked me, so. that'll work. Sometimes covering things like envelopes and that can be very tricky. Especially when you're, you know, trying to do more of a collage look than just measuring it and cutting the pieces to that size or whatever. I'm just going to grab the new glue again. I'm trying to use this one up. It's almost gone. So yeah, I use Scotch Create. I'm getting that question again. Scotch Create glue sticks. They're my favorite. I've tried lots of other ones. Not much luck with them. I just can't get them to stick and stay. I don't know if it's just because we live where it's dry or what, but I just don't have luck with that, so. So that's why that one's my favorite, because it really does seem to stick really well. So I like it a lot. I haven't had any problem with stuff like falling off and stuff. My son got in the car yesterday and said his friend had coronavirus, and I'm like, no he doesn't. We don't even have any cases of it here. And he's like, yeah, he went to some place where they had, you know, they have it, and he is sick now. And I'm like, well, he had to have been around people that had it. He couldn't just like get it just because he was someplace where it is. I mean, you know, anything's possible. He could have it, but I highly doubt it. Such a goofball. He gets all wound up about these things. I tore that weird. It looked weird. I do like it though, because it's just the old book page. Yeah, so he was all, no, I think he has it, Mom. It's like, okay. I haven't heard any more about it, so I'm assuming it's all fine. Because they went out of state for a drum corps thing, and so anyways, it needs something over there. I just don't know what. Like a little something. I like that little like flower right there. That would probably work. I don't want to mess up the bee though. Maybe I'll just do this. Oh my goodness, I wanted to say, because I keep forgetting, but one of my lovely subscribers, Nancy, ordered a book cradle from me, and I like printed out her, you know, address information and everything, and just got everything all boxed up and ready to go. Wasn't even paying one iota of attention. She literally lives like probably 10 minutes from me. I'm like, oh, if I would have realized it before I printed everything out and paid for it and all that, I would have like told her I would drop it off or something. So Nancy, if you order from me again, I will just like drop it off to you. It would be way cheaper to do that than it is to send packages in the mail. So anyway, that was kind of funny. She lives very close to where I live. Okay, so now we need this piece to hook here. And this might be a more than one day project. I don't know. What are we at? Oh, 25. That's not bad. But to get everything done in like tags and whatever, but we'll see. So we're just kind of trucking along. But at least you have the idea. So if you're like bored with this project, you can, you know, do something else, and you don't have to watch the whole entire thing if you're like, yeah, I got it. I think I'm going to put the bee over here because he's pretty cool. And Samantha Jared is the one that made the little honeycomb or hive or whatever you want to call it. It was a stencil. I still have it. But yeah, so she made that and I used that on there. So that was kind of fun. And what do we want to put under here? Maybe more of the... something with some color would be kind of good. I don't know that I want to... Kind of thinking just some of the, what do you call it? Straw paper, because a lot of this is going to get covered. Like that's all you're going to see is that top portion up there. So let's just do a strip up there of this. I keep, you know, going through my stuff and whatever, seeing what I've got, because I've been doing a lot of collaging. And I keep thinking, I really want to use some of that straw paper, but it seems like every time I'm doing a collage, it's like something that it doesn't go with very well. Like I've been doing a lot of pinks and purples and things like that. And so then today, since I finished that journal and everything, I'm like, I just am gonna just play with whatever, like nothing specific. Alright, so that's how that's gonna go. We need to ink around that a little bit. Yeah, the cool thing about this is it's just 2 standard envelopes, you know, different sizes, but they're easy to find and you can just do them however you want. This was just a fun idea, and I'll link Patricia Viramontes, her video as well, because like I said, she does a little different with the fabric hinge, and that's always fun to do too, so it would probably be a good thing to go check that out. If you didn't see it, you may have seen it, because she's the book page lady. Like, she does all kinds of cool stuff with book pages. And this little guy. Trying to find the least gluey spot on my glue book here. Alright, so now we can put this on here, and just so you can see what I'm saying, I'm going to glue along this side, along the bottom, and along that side so that it makes a pocket, which I'm sure you probably have caught on to already, but That's upside down when it flips open, I just realized that, but it's kind of just the way it is. And you could like center this or put it over to the other side more if you like it that way. I just thought it would be fun to put on this side, and then whatever I put in here, I could have a little tab, you know, coming out so that it, you know, isn't sticking out off of it, but it's someplace where it seems to make a little more sense, I guess. I'm not going to get into the pockets yet, but anyway, there's a pocket there, because otherwise we're never going to get this done if we if we start doping around with that stuff. So this is going to be the tricky part, is collaging this now, because I did those pockets like I said I wasn't gonna, but that's what I do. So we'll just try to do our best here. Where does it come off at? Come down a little bit lower so that hopefully, I don't know, but let's see how this, it'll go in here at all. Yep, I think that'll work, and I'll just take off a little bit more off the bottom there. Actually, I'll probably just take it right off the top and that'll work. Okay, and then I'll take a little off the edge. Try to get it straight here. Hopefully. There we go. Okay, I need a new glue page. I end up messing this up, aren't I? It's the only problem when you get the glue on the back, then it's a whole new ball game. Okay, there's that, and I forgot to ink like a dingling. Oops. So then I think what we'll do is probably not decorate the back, and then that way you can just glue it straight down to a page. But you definitely could decorate the whole entire thing and then have it, you know, like go in a pocket or whatever. Okay. So what do we want to put on the other side? some peaches over there. They probably fit. So let's do that. I'm gonna go straight across here, probably like this. We'll at least get one peach, right? I need to take a little bit more of that off so I can see. So let's get this side with a torn edge. And then how much do I need? I'm not that worried about those leaves, so I think I'm going to pull that all the way up to there. Come down a little bit more. And then take off. See, if you leave the envelope open, don't glue it until you're done, then you don't have this problem. You can just collage all the way across. But I just want to make sure I show you guys how it goes together so that if you want to move on, you can do that. I didn't get it quite down far enough, but it is what it is. Sorry, I'm not super talkative. I mean, I'm not always anyways, but I really don't have much to talk about today. I haven't been going really much of anywhere. Trying to stay out of the fray. I mean, my one outing to get toilet paper didn't even go as planned, so. It's just funny. I don't know, I think it's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but that people are freaking out so bad, but I just don't understand how it's different than the flu. But I guess that's just me. Tend to not worry about stuff like that too much. Sorry, I know I'm pushing and pulling and making this look awful, but hopefully it'll all work out here. Go. My fingers are all sticky, so that doesn't help at all. Okay, so we need something to cover those flaps, and that's going to be the interesting part. See, if you're smart, you'll have one of those, what do you call it, envelopes that has the, more of a straight, square edge. Those work probably better, but this is what I had, so using what I got. I'm just going to put that there, and I'll put other stuff. It's not done. So yeah, and I don't even have like stories really about my kids. They haven't really been up to a whole lot either. They've had a lot of homework, that's for sure. Getting to that close to spring break thing, and the teachers seem to load them up real good right before they're out. So, and my daughter picked her college, so we haven't had a lot going on with that. So yeah, it's just been kind of crazy and quiet, which I don't mind quiet at all. I could do without the crazy of the world, but quiet I like. Just kind of want, like, I don't even really know how I want to do that. Yeah, I do crazy stuff. And I don't know why. Okay. I've been watching a lot of people do the 3 and 30 too. I've thought about doing that, but for one thing, the timer thing doesn't really work for me. I know you don't have to do the timer, but... And then I'm just worried that there's always so much going on, I'll like never get it done. This edge needs to be straight. It's too jaggedy. Well, as straight as I can make it anyway. Yeah. Sorry if I'm driving you crazy. Can you do it completely difficult and backwards? Yes, I can. I'm not too worried about this one flat edge on here because it'll get covered with whatever I put on here next. I have to say this part is easier than the inside part for sure. Okay, what else do I want on there? Some of this like book about pears kind of thing would be cool on there if I can get. It's not going to do it, is it? Because it was right to the edge over there. I mean, I can use that, but I'm not going to get all the way down there. Let's see. Sorry, that's just my clock. Really have anything that's going to work. What about just some dictionary page? That would work. Just to come up just a little. Fingers papers are so sticky. Well, I've pretty much used that whole dictionary page with one thing or another. Okay, so there's those pockets, and we have these pockets at the top. I should probably put the little, this little doodad. That's the technical term. Maybe, I may not be able to get it in there, huh? No, it's not going to go in there. Another thing to do before you glue it, if you're smart. It seems like it opens better. Will it work? Oh, it does work. So maybe I can get it in that other one. I don't think I was trying hard enough. There's a lot more stuff on this side. I think that's why it seemed like it was too stiff. Alrighty, that works. So then we can just ink these a bit. We're at 46 minutes here. Stuff is so fiddly. And there's that opening too. That's not great, but I don't think anybody will be opening it like that, hopefully. Alright, so we have that. Is it going to fold now? Yes. And then that opens. We need a thing there, or a thing, that's the technical term, and one there, and then one or two in the back, 4 in the back. So let's see, let's get this off of here. I can actually use this for a tag or something. There's also tags and things in that kit, which I probably will be using some of that. Okay, I have another one here. That one's not glued very well. I finally found some more books. I think I forgot to tell you guys about that. I went to our dollar store and they were completely out of books, which was really weird because there's usually gobs of them there. And so I went down into a different town in our area and they had some, so I was able to get some because I'm going to do some altered books, or one for sure, possibly two. So yeah. So I got those, one of those prepared, and you do that by, and I'll show you guys when we do it, but by, I'm going to do these for these back pockets, I think, because they're a little bit bigger. So you tear out like 6 pages, and then you leave 2, and you tear out 6 and leave 2, and tear out 6, like that. I use the same method as, I believe it was Crafty Irina who started it, but Gail does it quite often. And so that might be one that you've seen more easily. But yeah, so that way you lose a bunch of your pages, so it's not, you know, too crazy thick. And then, because you're going to be adding stuff to it, so that's why you can't leave all the pages in. If that makes sense, I hope. So yeah, So that's going to be the next project coming up. I was going to do an Easter journal, but I just don't think I'm going to have time to get one done in time. Okay, those will go in there. And then maybe one of these, we can make it little. Go in here. It's more like just a little tuck. It's not a very big tuck area. So I wonder if we could use one of these. And these are fairly easy to cut out because they're just rectangular. And I just copied or printed this out on regular copy paper. This is nothing fancy. So that's just to show that you can just use copy paper, because I get that question a lot, what paper I recommend. I like to use parchment paper, but you don't have to have that. It prints just fine on really just copy paper even. And then a lot of times what I do is use the thinner papers because I like to do collages and things like that. And then if I want it thicker, which I do with this, then I'm just going to add it to a piece of book page or something of that nature to make it thick, you know. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. That piece isn't big enough, so we're going to take a different piece, and these will just get used for something along the way. But yeah, so then we can just do that kind of thing. I could have cut that out with the cutter too. But you know, why would you do that? That's just silly talk. Why would you make sense? I'm actually going to go up here a little higher. I just want it to, that part isn't glued down very well. And I know now I have to cut it out again, but I'm going to back it with some of this. So let's cut it at least this much. Helps if you hold it right. And I could have just backed it onto this too, and that would have worked. I just like to thicken stuff up sometimes with the book page, especially when I'm using regular copy paper, because as we know, it does tear pretty easy. And I didn't get this down very well. Oh, yeah, it is. Alright, and I cut the whole thing out, didn't I? So I'm going to cut it all out again. Oh, yeah, brain. Telling you, it's a scary place up there. I've been sleeping better though, so that right there helps a lot. Not that you probably noticed that it's helped, but my mood is better. How's that? Because I start to get pretty cranky when I don't sleep. Which is comical because, you know, your brain keeps you up all night going 100 miles an hour in different directions, and over nothing really. That's usually the way it is for me anyway. And then it's like you're cranky. It's like, well, I'm not the one that kept me up all night. Sorry, it was just getting too much. Couldn't do it. Take a sip of my tea. Okay, get some ink on that. And I may stitch around this too, again, even though it has the, you know, the stitches already from the first time. And I like this rough edge and stuff on here. Fine with that. I know it probably would bug some people, so. Yeah, see, that might even be too high for there because it sticks up so high, so I may have to make something else for there. And we might have to use this, like, this one would go really good right here though. So that's what we'll do. I'll figure out, it just needs like a little thing, you know, like nothing big. So let's decorate these. How long? Maybe we'll wait to finish decorating because we're at 54. I don't want to keep you guys anymore, but we'll do another video where we finish up the decorating on this. But I think those are super fun. Thank you so much, Patricia Viramontes. I mean, I doubt she watches me, but if she does, thank you, because those are fun. Hers, like I said, is a little different. This part flips down too, and it's hooked on by fabric, so definitely go check that out because those are really cute. But I think it'll be really neat. You can glue it down in a journal, or you could put it in a pocket. So, or if you just wanted to give it as Happy Mail, that's another good idea. So anyways, we will chat later. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. Bye-bye now.